is a yawn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my sweet boy.
My sweet boy, yeah.
Welcome back to the Bench to Mike podcast. I'm Caleb Foltz, also known as CF3, your host.
I am the co-host, Chris Cortez, also known as Chris Cortez.
Shout out, Chris. Shout out. We actually just got done recording the Combine video as of this recording session on June 12th at 6:11 p.m. So, yeah, we try to record our podcast at least 2 a week to post them 2 Saturdays out. Especially with Chris, he went on vacation last week, so we've been trying to stay ahead of, everything like that. Keeping the podcast popping because we love doing this for you guys.
And we love you guys.
We love you guys. We love supporters. We love you guys. That's all we got to say. So today's theme of the video, another short, wrap it up kind of thing because, it's kind of a weird, it's our in season, but it's the football team's off season, And we don't really have a lot to talk about, so we came up with an idea of talking about the realignment, all the realignments with college football and FBS. And also, Chris,
The winners of every single FBS conference. And I believe there's 11 of them, if I stand corrected.
I can count right now for one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
10. Oh, because, wait,
They cut it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
11.
You talking about 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, well, your boy can't count. Frankly, I don't know how I made it to college. I shouldn't be in college.
Neither do I. I have no idea.
Let's dive right into this.
Thank you. I was actually just about to say that. Starting off, ACC. Actually, can we talk about one thing real quick before we get into ACC football play?
Go for it.
D3 football. D3 football player. There's a thing. So I actually just made a graphic for my head coach to post. I work in public relations. I make sports graphics and stuff for the university. I just made a graphic for my football team and announcing what our schedule is for the year, 2024. And it's already gone viral, being reposted through many D3 football networks because everyone's going crazy that because this defines his first year as NAIA, but yet they're still playing us. They're playing all NAIA schools, but they're playing us week 10.
Forgot about that. It's gonna be a pretty big time watch game.
And think about scholarship versus non-scholarship athletes.
Yeah. See who's better. See who truly is better.
Mm.
Although I do believe D3 is a step up from NAIA.
But also, it's basically the same team as last year. I guess they're receiving scholarships now. I don't know. And in NAIA, you can't receive full scholarships. So, I don't know. But that was one thing I want to bring up in terms of it kind of goes along with the conference play because Defiance technically is moving away. So, anyways, back to the main theme of this video. ACC. The ACC is now 17 schools after adding Cal, SMU, and Stanford for the 2024-25 season. The teams that are in the 2024 ACC conference: Boston College, Cal, Clemson, Duke, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami, North Carolina, NC State, Pittsburgh, SMU, Stanford, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. That's a weird conference.
It is.
And you know who I think is going to win it all?
I believe we covered it in our latest video.
Florida State.
Yes.
Florida State.
I agree. Overall, they're the best. They have the best roster. And in last year's conference championship, they won the conference title with their third string QB.
Oh, Lord.
And that was his first game starting, I believe, was the ACC championship.
Way to kick off his career for sure.
Yeah.
I think Clemson has a chance, but Florida State I think is going to pretty much reign.
Yeah. They'll play against them in the title game.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about there. Go Florida State, I guess. ACC is such a dog dookie conference, though.
The Power Four, there's not going to be much to cover because we kind of covered it in our college football playoff
Go back
video.
and watch that last week. Last week I guess actually it was yesterday for us, but last week of posting this.
Yeah.
Big Ten. The Big Ten is now 18 schools after adding Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Washington for the 2024-25 season. So it's Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, USC, Washington, and Wisconsin. Washington and Oregon's gonna be a definitely interesting piece for this. I guess even USC. Those are definitely interesting teams.
It's going to be a heck of a flight.
I know it's so
especially
weird.
later in the season when they got to go to Iowa or Ohio State or Michigan, and it's going to be 20 degrees outside in November.
Yeah, all four of those schools have to fly across the country to play any of these teams: Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers. Wisconsin. All those teams are across the country from these other 4 teams.
That'll be pretty sweet to see.
It will be, but it's kind of stupid. I think it's stupid. But I think
But it's all about money. So
are they really
unfortunately,
making that money?
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, the Pac-12, that's the reason it went down the drain was because the TV deal ended. So everyone just scattered.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is a crazy conference. I think, honestly, though, the winners, I'm going to go Ohio State or Oregon, probably. I think I'm stuck between Ohio. I just want to see Oregon's. I know Oregon has crazy receiver talent, and Ohio State has a talent all around. So I'm giving both those teams like a tie for first.
Yeah. For me, I already covered it in our CFP video. It's going to come down to Ohio State and Oregon in the Big Ten championship, but Ohio State's going to edge out Oregon. It's going to be a good game for sure. I believe I said that before, but Ohio State just has a better roster all around. When it comes down to coaches, they're pretty even, but so it's going to come down to talent in that game, but I think Ohio State's going to pull away.
Now, let me ask you, do you think Washington has a chance at all? Now that they made it to the national championship, the recruits saw that, transfer portal, do you think Washington has a chance?
No. I don't think they have a
Even
chance.
coming off a big season like they had?
The reason that they became good was because Michael Penix went there. Before Michael Penix, they were a constant top 20 team, but after he's gone, they're not going to be good anymore. And with Roma Dunze gone, it's too much talent lost, And in college football, it's also become like, especially in the Power Four, it's become a more offensive oriented game. I don't think Washington's going to be able to compete this year in the Big Ten.
I don't think USC, UCLA, or Washington's going to be able to compete in this conference.
Out of those 3, I think UCLA will be the best, but yes, we'll see. That's why you play the games.
Very true. All right, moving on. Next one, Big 12. They added Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. They're now 16 schools, so now 2024 teams are Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, UCF, Utah, and West Virginia.
This is my favorite conference.
This is
such
unique. It's so unique in a way.
Yeah, this is my favorite conference in the Power Four.
Wow, and I feel like Cincinnati is so out of place. They don't belong there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was cool though. Watching, I got on Fox this past season. They had Oklahoma at Cincinnati. That was so cool watching on TV.
Was it?
That was so cool.
Why was it cool though? Like, what?
Just you never see Oklahoma come up to Ohio. Like if they come to Ohio, you think, oh, they're probably playing Ohio State college game. No, it's for Cincinnati, of all teams.
I'm assuming they got beat down though pretty bad.
I think they won. It was either 21-7 or 28-7. It was a sound defeating, but it wasn't crazy like they beat them by 40 points or whatever.
Okay. All right. Who do you think is going to the Big 12?
I mentioned it in the CFP video once again. Winner of this conference is going to be Utah because they have the best, well-rounded roster, phenomenal defense. Cam Rising is a phenomenal quarterback. He has a phenomenal running game, and he can throw and run it. And I just think it's Utah's year. Utah is going to finally break out of their shell. They don't have to go through USC, Washington, or Oregon. I don't think there's a team that's really going to be able to compete with Utah in the Big 12 this year.
Even though they just joined the conference, you don't think they're going to take a year or two to kind of develop in?
No, they're. I know every college is in a win now mode because it's college, but if there's a true win now team in college football, it's Utah. It's now or never for Utah this year, and I think it's now. I think it's now.
I think I'm going to go Arizona just because they had a great season out of like nowhere last year. And also Cash Peterman. Shout out Cash Peterman. I see you on Instagram, dog. Like Arizona just had a crazy year. Like they've been terrible forever. Like I think for their entire time. Like has Arizona ever been good ever?
No.
And they had a crazy season last year just out of nowhere. I would love to see them run it back and actually do something with their talent. So
got a chance for sure.
I think everyone's coming back too for Arizona. I think everyone came back in a way. So yeah, Arizona for me for the Big 12 and Utah for Chris for the Big 12. So we got ACC, Florida State winning it. We agree on that. Big 10, we're between Oregon and Ohio State. And then Big 12, me and Chris are stuck between. Well, he picks Utah, I pick Arizona. So moving on to the Pac-12 is now the Pac-2 after losing all but 2 schools.
I don't know if they're giving the Pac-12 championship to either of those teams. I think they're. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But we're gonna do this as if there will be a Pac-12 champion. I haven't looked at either team's schedule, so they could be playing each other twice. I have no idea. but it's basically who's going to win in that one game that they play against each other. So it's either Oregon State or Washington State. But for my sake, I'm going to go Oregon State. They had a pretty good season last year. They upset a couple teams. They just – I do believe that they lost their quarterback to the transfer portal. I could be wrong. I don't stay up to date with Oregon State, but they've shown that they're building back, and Washington's kind of
wasn't
just –
the Ugalele guy or whatever, he transferred away again?
I think – yeah, that's right. Uiagalelei. I think he might have transferred away.
Again? Because he went Clemson to Oregon State to now Florida State, I think. I think he's at Florida State now, isn't he?
He might be. He might be.
I think it went Clemson to Oregon State to Florida State, and it's crazy he's transferring. He transferred again.
Well, I still think Oregon State's gonna win that game and win the conference. But
I like Oregon State just because they always bring in lots of JUCO guys, and the guys from Last Chance U they played there. So I guess just from that, just like I'm always rooting for guys that try to make it out of the gutters and make it out of the hood, stuff like that. So. Yeah, Oregon State. I've only watched every time I watch Washington State or watch any sort of game or film, they're always getting their butt handed to them. So I don't really know much about Washington State. Otherwise, I only see them get their butt handed to them.
That's how I am when looking at Washington State.
It's weird because the Pac-12 now the Pac-2 is on the other side of the country, so it's just kind of like it's awkward to watch them. And when I was watching the Pac-12, I was watching Colorado play, and it wasn't the greatest. SEC, arguably the closest conference to NFL football. Close into pro football, the best conference in college football next to the HCAC. They now have 16 teams: Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt. Man, that is a tough conference. Oh, man. Chris, what do you think?
Give me Georgia. I had them as my number one team in the college football playoff. And I don't think there's a single team that even comes close within a breath of Georgia. The only team that could maybe come close would be Texas. And I think, the SEC championship is going to be between Texas and Georgia. But I think Georgia's going to win that game easily. And I think the Bulldogs will be barking pretty loud this year.
I'm honestly right there with Chris in terms of Georgia and Texas. I would like to lean more towards Texas because of Quinn Ewers, but I also like Carson Beck in terms of what he's doing at Georgia and how he's kind of taken over since Stetson Bennett left and graduated. Did he graduate? I don't even know. But one thing you can keep in mind and can consider, Saban did leave Bama, that culture with all those veterans at Bama, and some people even transferred back to Bama, I heard. So, don't keep Bama out, but I think that I am with the Georgia-Texas kind of rally kind of thing. But I would like to lean more towards Texas. But
So Texas is your pick.
I think Texas is my pick, but okay. Georgia is – I could say it's a tie, but I want Texas. I want Texas.
I want Texas too.
Yeah. I want to see them be good again. I feel like they've been kind of like how you described Penn State in our last podcast. Yeah.
I want to be able to say Texas is back, and Texas is actually back,
I would love to go to a Texas game.
Me too.
Wait, does Texas play? We should go to a Texas versus Tennessee game. That color matchup, just different shades of oranges.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so cool to see. AAC, 14 teams in AAC, and they lost SMU, but they added Army. So it is Army, Charlotte, East Carolina, FAU, Memphis, Navy, North Texas, Rice, Temple, Tulane, Tulsa, UAB, USF, UTSA. This one's without a doubt. I already know what Chris is going to pick, so I'm going to say it for him. Tulane.
Yep. Tulane. And I had him in my college football playoff bracket. I think Tulane's going to.
I think Tulane's going to smack this whole conference.
With SMU gone, oh my goodness, because SMU was ranked 22nd last year. They moved to the ACC. I think Tulane, it's going to be a clean sweep. There's not going to be a single team that's even going to be able to breathe on Tulane this year.
Wasn't Memphis a solid team last year, though? Wasn't Memphis kind of solid?
Yeah, but, man, Tulane's just in a different league. In my opinion, I think Tulane's a favorite to be the next Group of 5 team to join a Power 4 conference. Okay. They're just on a different planet.
I like that take. That's a good take.
Yeah.
So I just see North Texas. They're terrible. Navy and Army are never that good.
My dream would be Army. This is
so
the
cool.
first time, in forever, Army's been in the conference. So I guess my want pick is Army, but nobody's going to come close to Tulane.
Yeah. Army didn't. Which school, military school, had a really good season last year?
Air Force.
Air Force is what it was.
Mountain West.
Nice. Okay. But yeah, that was fun to watch.
Oh my goodness! Seeing the triple option on full effect, and them just absolutely beating the crap out of anyone they beat.
They only lost. They only lost like 2 or 3 games, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they lost 3 games. They beat James Madison in their bowl game.
Didn't we watch that? We watched some of that, didn't we?
I wasn't able to.
Oh, I watched some of it. I remember seeing it, and I think that was the one game I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Conference USA. I'm not gonna lie, I barely heard of this conference.
This conference is gross. Like if this is the FCS conference.
Okay. FIU, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State.
Ugh.
They just added Kennesaw State.
Ugh.
Liberty, Louisiana Tech,
Ugh.
Middle Tennessee, New
Ugh.
Mexico State, Sam Houston, UTEP, Western Kentucky.
Ugh. Ugh.
Okay.
Gross.
It
It stinks.
stinks. This one's hard because it just all of it smells really bad and tastes bad.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I'm stuck to like maybe Liberty and Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, I feel like it's just been a decent program.
Red Grimace. Love that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think his name's Big Red, but gotta call him Red
Grimace. Yep. And Liberty's just been one of those teams that's been kind of on the rise in Group of 5, but not as dominant as Tulane. But I mean, they did make when they first announced the 12 bracket, they're like, well, if it was this year, Liberty would have made it in or whatever. And Liberty had that good QB.
I think they played in the they played
Where's
in the
he at
Fiesta
now?
Bowl.
That he went to the Tennessee Titans. He was like a backup though. Where'd he end up going now? Where's he? Is he still in the league?
Malik Willis. I don't know if he's still in the league or not.
Can I look that up real quick? Can we take a break here to Malik Willis?
I guess while he's looking, my pick's gonna be Liberty. I believe they finished, at least right before the bowl game. I think they were in the top 20. They might have been 12. I don't remember. I just remember they played in the Fiesta Bowl and they played Oregon, and they got absolutely slaughtered. Wait, can I say that on?
You
air?
say slaughtered, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they got slaughtered in every aspect of the word. It was ugly. The game was over by halftime, but I think just because of how bad the Conference USA is, I think Liberty is going to clean sweep. They're going to go undefeated in conference play.
He's still in the league. He's been like a third string. He had 276 yards, 3 interceptions his first year in the league, and he had 74 yards, and that's it in his second year in the league. So he's really done nothing. Interesting. Well, it's still impressive coming from a Group of 5 school, though. Shout out to you, man. Still doing your thing. You stay in the league. If you're staying in the league as a backup, you get the best job in the world.
Yep.
But
Front row seats to every game.
Absolutely. So do you think Liberty or Western Kentucky? Like, where's your? Did you?
I said Liberty.
Liberty.
Yeah, it's not going to be even be close.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mid-American. The MAC remains at 12 teams with no changes because they're consistent, baby.
If you are a fan of things that never change, be a MAC fan. The MAC will never
I want to see
change.
Marshall come back, though. I want to see Marshall come back.
Oh yeah, those with Byron Leftwich leading the charge at QB at Marshall. UMass is coming back though. They won't be joining until 2025. But UMass, it is confirmed this past spring. They will be joining in 2025. All sports.
Oh yeah. I'm going Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green can. I think Bowling Green's on a whole nother level with the returners they have. I'm a huge fan of Bazelak when he's good, and if he can stay consistent. I mean, everyone graduated everybody away, and even the bad teams graduated everybody. So it's a lot of fresh teams, and then there's BGSU with their 6th and 5th year seniors and their experienced juniors and seniors. So, I mean, they brought in Power 5 transfers.
2 of them, yeah, or more than 2, I'm sure, but at least 2 at the receivers.
If they can ditch the 2 QB system, and if they can, if Bazelak can play the best ball like he did his SC during the year, he got SEC Freshman of the Year.
Harold Fannin, I believe, was like a top 8, top 7 tight end in college football last year. Remember him, number 44?
Yes. Yeah. Now they say, oh yeah, he's a dog. I forgot about him.
Yep, he's coming back.
He played fullback, running back, wing, tight end.
He was a utility tool,
dude, and he wasn't built to do that. I mean, he kind of carried in that last game in that bowl game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going Bowling Green. I want to see it, man. I want to see them be great. I think Toledo and Miami graduate too many people. I think, and also the draft and whatever and transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they can, I think they're gonna run through every team. But I think Miami and Toledo are gonna really kind of test, the MAC champions.
Yeah. There's 3 teams that I'm torn between. It's Toledo, Miami, and Bowling Green. I think Toledo, they just simply lost too many people. They lost DeQuan Finn. They lost Penny Boone. They lost Micah Kelly. I don't know who else is coming back for Toledo. They might have a couple receivers coming back, but they lost majority of their big defensive linemen, their big defensive tackles gone. And Quinyon Mitchell, by the way, congratulations. We love seeing Ohio kids and kids from Group of 5 schools get drafted in the first round and like that. So that is awesome to see.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's gone. So I just think they lost too many people. But who knows? We'll see. Jason Candle's a great coach. He'll probably pump out another solid season for Toledo. Miami is the biggest threat to win. I think they lost too many people as well. The only threat that's coming back for them is Brett Gabbert, their quarterback. By the way, he's the younger brother of Blaine Gabbert, former NFL quarterback. But I don't know. Call me a homer because I'm a student there, but I got to go Bowling Green for the same exact reasons he said. A lot of people coming back, a lot of great transfers coming in. I just don't. It's their conference to lose. It's their conference to lose this year.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I honestly think it's really all in Bazelak's hands. It
It
really
is.
It's all in his hands, man. Mountain West. Mountain West remains at 12 teams will play 15 combined games against Oregon State and Washington State, 7 against the Beavers, 8 against the Cougars.
I think it's a transition year because I've seen a lot of articles that are pinning Washington State and Oregon State to move to the Mountain West within the near future.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds like Oregon State and Washington State are just screwed for this season.
Yeah.
2024 teams are Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, Utah State, and Wyoming. You know what? Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
Air Force.
Yep.
I want to see Air Force do it, man. I want to see a military school win a conference, man. I want to see it happen.
They were close.
I believe it.
They were close.
Do they have the returners?
I have no idea because
how does it work in military? Like, I'm going to the draft. No, you're not. You're staying. You're in the military. You're serving 6 years, my guy.
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly with those military schools.
I mean, none of these teams really stand out to me. Colorado State, was that a really good game with Colorado? I mean, that was a great competitive game. I mean, I don't think any of these teams really made headlines or I didn't see anything crazy about them. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm going to say, is Boise State and even in talks anymore? Are they relevant? Are they?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
they're never going to go away.
Okay. They also have a blue turf field. We got to go see that sometime.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I'm going Air Force. Chris?
My pick, Boise State.
Okay.
I think they're in year out the best of the Mountain West. And every Mountain West team always says, if you want to win the Mountain West, you got to go through Boise State. And there's just that championship expectation in Boise, Idaho. I don't know who the playmakers are over there, but I just know that I always have a great team year in, year out. So give me the Broncos of Boise State. My dream team to win, that will not win because they're horrible, are the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
I was just about to say, I would love to see Hawaii be good. My thing is, like, what's better than being a D1 athlete that lives in Hawaii? I don't understand what's not the appeal. Like,
I don't know.
Being too far from, is it that expensive? Like, if I get a full ride to play for Hawaii,
I'm taking it.
guys, if I will send an email out for my 5th year, when I transfer for my 5th year to receive a master's degree, and I go to look for a program, I will send an email to Hawaii and see if they respond. Well, who's gonna pass on a 6'3", 200-pound receiver? Okay, that's like Calvin Johnson in Hawaii eyes. Okay, you can't.
Why pick up the phone?
Pick up the phone, Rainbow Warrior. All right, last and certainly least, the Sun Belt. Appalachian State, Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, James Madison, Louisiana Monroe, Marshall, Dominion, South Alabama, Southern Miss, Texas State, and Troy. Woof.
It's a gauntlet. It's a good conference. Sun Belt, they also call it the Fun Belt.
The Fun Belt. Man, I don't even know. James Madison lost all their players.
Yeah.
But, like,
If everyone came back, they would be the no-brainer pick to win because of the 2 seasons that they had up until this year.
what about Georgia State? Georgia State, Chris!
Man,
That video is amazing.
that's my dream,
Georgia State.
is Georgia State winning, but it's
Yeah.
not happening there.
I can't believe I came back and beat you, Georgia State. And you had Alabama. And you had 21 points.
Hey, it wasn't just me you beat.
I'd be Elijah.
It was Elijah, too.
Okay.
Elijah and I were on the same team.
That was such a fun. That video still makes me laugh when I watch it. I'm gonna go Coastal Carolina. Simply 'cause I don't know anything about these schools. Maybe Arkansas State. I feel like Arkansas State's always been pretty solid. But Coastal Carolina just because I like their colors. We were over there for a vacation one time, and I got to see a little bit of the campus, and was kind of cool. I like the what are they getting? The Gamecocks? No, they're the
Chanticleers or Chanticleer. I think it's Chanticleers.
yeah, they look like a bird or
The
something.
Chanticleers.
It looks like a chicken that's blue.
It is a Chanticleer. I think it's
A blue chicken.
It's like a fighting chicken. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
And there's a DB that he graduated from there, and now he's in like a whole business program. His whole content was posted about like his process getting to Coastal Carolina, and like their turf field's amazing.
love
they're
the teal.
they're on a beach, man. Like it's
On Myrtle Beach, not just any beach. You got Myrtle Beach.
it's gotta
Great
be
town.
it's gotta be the life. Like any like places like Florida, Coastal Carolina, Hawaii. It's gotta be the life. Being
Oh,
a D1
yeah.
athlete and then being over there, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about this conference, so I'm just gonna go Coastal Carolina, and because I mean I'd pick James Madison, but they lost everybody. I don't know about. I don't really know anything about any of these teams. I know Georgia State's bad. South Alabama's not the greatest. Southern Miss is
Yeah.
Appalachia State.
Well, here we go. My pick, Appy State.
Okay.
Appy State. I have no idea who's on that team, but they always just like Boise State, great year in year out. They beat James Madison last year when College Game Day went to Harrisonburg. They went in there, sucked the life out of that stadium. It was crazy watching that game. By the way, if there's a game you should watch like the highlights of that game. Awesome game. One of the best games I've watched that I can remember. They beat a couple more teams. I think a year ago they beat Texas A&M on the road when Texas A&M was ranked like number 6. I don't know. Appalachian State, they're just, I guess, a magical team. They're a magical team. It's that Appy State upset magic, you know. And they beat Miami in their bowl game last year.
Ooh.
And the MAC champion, yeah.
Wow. I knew Appalachia State had like a good season, but
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't know anything about the conference. I just didn't tune in, pay attention to them. Other than when you talk about James Madison and stuff. So yeah. Well, that's it. That's our list.
It kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be short and sweet. This podcast was short and sweet. Not much to talk about, but a lot of love to show to every conference. I just can't wait for this season to roll around where we can really deep dive into everything. I really want to start diving into like whatever week, like the whole week of like articles that come out, like, oh, this player did this and this is going on with this team. I want to talk about the nitty gritty and all the media stuff. Like, I've been trying to follow different things on Instagram to find the nitty gritty articles, and I can't wait.
There's nothing going on right now.
Exactly. I found the sources. Just waiting for the season to roll around so we can start talking about that on the podcast. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, any ideas, anything you guys want to discuss, or kind of our hot takes on these cold seats, let us know.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a long day. I got some editing to do. Chris has some great plans after this. It's been a good week, and it's been a great podcast. Chris, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah. You're watching this the third Saturday in June, I believe. The following Saturday, we're going to Canada. We're going to Canada. A week after this is going to be posted. We're going to Canada.
Going to Canada.
Canada. Canada.
That's a lot of letters. We don't spell that in America. That's a lot of them.
Canada. Can't wait. I'm excited for this. So excited for Canada.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. Ready to go. Ready to get away from my job for a little bit. Ready to just enjoy hanging out with Chris, watching college Canadian pro football. Canadian pro football. All right. I ain't like American football, but I'm excited to learn the game.
Absolutely.
I should look up the rules so I understand it.
I'm going to as well.
There's got to be a whole different strategy to it in a way because you can motion differently, and I don't know. I'm excited.
Lots of great content coming to you guys. Couple videos.
Tuned.
It's going to be great.
Stay tuned. But yeah, boys, that's all we got for you. Chris, give your little outro.
Wherever you're watching this, have a great morning, afternoon, noon, or nights. God bless you guys. Take care.
I'll catch y'all, boys, next time. Peace.